What makes America such a dominant force on the global stage? This question invites us on a journey back in time, to the dawn of a new age, marked by the American Revolution. The late 18th century was a tumultuous time, filled with intellectual fervor and a yearning for change. A group of visionaries dared to imagine a new kind of nation, one that would break free from the shackles of colonial rule and chart its own course. The result was the United States of America, an experiment in democracy and freedom that would reverberate across the centuries. The founding principles of the United States were revolutionary in their own right. Freedom, democracy, and capitalism were not just ideals, they were engines of growth, propelling the young nation forward. These principles were enshrined in the Constitution, a document that continues to guide the nation to this day. The Constitution, with its emphasis on checks and balances and the separation of powers, ensured that no single entity would hold absolute power. The Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, further bolstered these principles. It guaranteed individual freedoms such as the freedom of speech, religion, and the right to a fair trial. These rights became the bedrock of American society, attracting immigrants from across the globe who sought to partake in the American dream. It was not just the promise of individual freedoms that spurred America's growth. The nation's commitment to capitalism played a crucial role as well. The free market system fostered innovation, competition, and economic growth. It allowed individuals and companies to pursue their ambitions, contributing to the wealth and prosperity of the nation. The birth of the United States set the stage for a new kind of power, one that was grounded in the principles of liberty and individual rights. This was not a power that relied solely on military might or economic wealth. It was a power born from the belief in the potential of the individual, the conviction that freedom and democracy were not just lofty ideals, but practical tools for building a strong and prosperous nation. But the story of America's rise to power doesn't stop there. No, it gains momentum with the onset of the Industrial Revolution. This era, spanning from the late 18th century to the early 20th century, was a time of profound transformation. It was during this period that the United States morphed from an agrarian society into an industrial powerhouse. The Industrial Revolution ushered in a wave of technological advancements. Steam power, the cotton gin, the telegraph, and the locomotive. These innovations and more revolutionized the way people lived and worked. Factories sprouted up across the nation, churning out goods at an unprecedented rate and propelling the United States onto the world stage as an economic titan. Then there was the expansion westward. Manifest destiny, the belief that American settlers were destined to expand across the continent, drove thousands to venture into the unknown. The discovery of gold in California in 1848 further fueled this westward migration, turning the American dream into a reality for many. As settlers moved westward, they discovered vast natural resources. These resources, from coal to oil to gold, fueled the nation's industrial machines and filled its coffers. The development of infrastructure, such as the Transcontinental Railroad, further facilitated the exploitation of these resources, knitting together the vast expanse of the American landscape. And let's not forget the role of immigration. Millions of people from around the globe flocked to America, drawn by the promise of opportunity. These immigrants provided a diverse and industrious workforce, contributing significantly to the nation's economic growth. They brought with them new ideas, new ways of doing things, and a relentless drive to succeed. So, you see, the United States didn't just stumble upon its wealth and power. It was built on a foundation of innovation, exploration, and hard work. The Industrial Revolution and westward expansion laid the groundwork for the United States to become a beacon of wealth and opportunity. With economic power came military might. As the United States expanded industrially, its participation in the world wars became inevitable. The Great War, or World War I as it's more commonly known, saw the United States flex its military muscle on the global stage for the first time. It was a period of learning and growth, with the nation developing advanced military technology and strategies. But it was the aftermath of the Second World War that truly cemented the United States' position as a global superpower. World War II was a transformative period for America. The nation, once isolated and inward-looking, was thrust into the center of global conflict. Its military and industrial strength were tested to their limits, as they produced an unprecedented quantity of war materials and advanced weaponry. The development of the atomic bomb marked a significant turning point, not just for the United States, but for the world as a whole. It was a stark demonstration of the devastating power that the nation now wielded. The war's end saw a world in ruins, and from those ruins, the United States emerged stronger than ever before. With Europe and Asia devastated, the nation was left as one of the few major powers largely unscathed. The United States was not just a military power, but an economic juggernaut, with its gross domestic product nearly half of the world's total. In the aftermath of World War II, the United States took on a leading role in global affairs. It helped to rebuild war-torn Europe with the Marshall Plan, and established international organizations like the United Nations, with the aim of promoting peace and cooperation. The nation's cultural influence also grew, with American music, films, and fashion making their way into homes around the globe. From the ashes of war, the United States emerged as a global superpower, wielding influence not just through its military might but also through its economic and cultural impact. The wars were a crucible, tempering and shaping the nation into what it is today, a global powerhouse with a reach that extends far beyond its borders. So, what is the secret behind America's strength, one might ask? Well, it's quite a tale stemming from the founding principles of freedom and capitalism. These ideals laid a strong foundation, paving the way for a society bursting with potential. Then came the Industrial Revolution, a period of rapid change and westward expansion that transformed America into a powerhouse of innovation and productivity. But the story doesn't stop there. The World Wars played a significant role in shaping the United States' global standing. Through these conflicts, America emerged not just as a military force, but a beacon of hope and resilience, cementing its status as a global superpower. The strength of America lies not just in its military or economic power, but in its enduring principles, its capacity for innovation, and its influence on the world stage. It is a story of a nation that has continually adapted and evolved, always striving for a better future.